Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a piece of technology that seriously feels like it's been pulled straight out of a sci-fi movie. We're talking about a robot that can literally use Google to figure out how to do its job. So I want you to just imagine this for a second. A robot that doesn't just blindly follow a pre-programmed list of instructions. Instead, it can it can think. It can browse the web for information and then use that info to solve problems all on its own. And this isn't some far-off future idea. This is tech that Google has just rolled out in a preview mode. All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get into what this whole Googling robot thing is all about. Then we're going to unpack a really key concept called embodied reasoning. After that, we'll hit 5 features that are total game changers, see how this tech could actually jump from the lab into real businesses, and finally, we'll talk about why this amazing future is still, in preview. So let's circle back to that suitcase example, because it really helps explain what makes this new AI from Google so incredibly different. It's all part of what they're calling their Gemini Robotics suite. And the huge shift here is moving away from telling a robot exactly what to do every single step of the way. Right, so instead of programming every little movement, you just give the AI a simple high-level goal, something like, hey, pack a suitcase for a beach trip. The AI then takes that, hits the web to check the weather, maybe looks up local beach rules, and then it creates its own detailed plan for the robot to actually execute. Now, this ability for a robot to think and plan for itself, it's all powered by a core concept called embodied reasoning. You'll see ER in the model's name, and believe me, it's not just a couple of random letters, it's pretty much the secret sauce to this whole thing. To put it really simply, it's about an AI that can see the world through a robot's camera and actually make sense of it. So it can look at a messy room and not just identify a bunch of objects, but it can figure out the entire sequence of actions needed to get that room clean. So yeah, this isn't just another one of those language models that's good at processing text or writing code. This is an AI brain built from the ground up, specifically for robot tasks. It's designed to be the bridge between digital intelligence and actual physical action in the real world. And this comparison just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got your traditional robot. It just follows a strict, rigid script. If something goes wrong, it's stuck. But on the right, you have this new kind of reasoning robot. It can adapt its plan using live data from the internet. It can troubleshoot. We're literally moving from machines that are just told what to do to machines that can figure out how to do it. It's a huge leap. Okay, so now that we've got a handle on that core idea, let's dig into 5 key features that really make this technology a potential revolution for the world of robotics. All right, here are the big 5. First, you've got embodied reasoning, which we just talked about, that ability to understand the physical world. Second, and this one is massive, is web access and tool usage. Third is something called motion transfer, which is a really cool way for robots to teach each other skills. Fourth, a huge jump in success rates for complex tasks. And last but not least, Google is providing open developer access, which means anyone can start building with this stuff. I really want to double down on this web access feature because it's what truly sets this whole thing apart. Think about it. It gives robots a constantly updated, almost infinite source of knowledge to guide their actions. They can look up anything from a recipe for a cake to a super complex repair manual for a piece of factory machinery. And the results really speak for themselves. According to Google, when it comes to complex tasks, this new model performs 2 to 3 times better than the models that came before it. We're not talking about a small improvement here. That's a massive jump in the ability to successfully plan and pull off delicate or multi-step jobs. Okay, so this is all really cool tech, but why should you care if you're not in a research lab? Well, let's explore some of the real-world applications this could unlock for businesses across all kinds of different industries. You can really let your imagination run wild here. From a retail store where a robot could check competitor prices online and then physically rearrange a product display, to a factory floor where it could look up a repair guide for a machine that's on the fritz. The ability to plan and adapt using live data could honestly change the entire game for how physical businesses operate. And that brings us to a really crucial point. This kind of technology could actually democratize advanced robotics. You see, the super high cost of custom programming has always been a huge roadblock for smaller companies, but what if one universal AI can plan and adapt automatically? Well, that could finally make advanced robotics practical and affordable for small and medium-sized businesses, not just giant corporations.
But okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves and start planning our completely robot-run future, we have to remember this is still brand new, emerging technology. There's a reason Google released it in preview mode.
For starters, the AI can still make mistakes in its planning, and even with a perfect plan, a robot is still limited by its physical body, what its arms and grippers can actually do. And for pretty obvious safety reasons, its access to the web is filtered and controlled. It's an incredibly powerful tool, for sure, but it's not quite foolproof just yet.
But even with those limitations, you just can't miss the fundamental shift that this represents. This is a major turning point for both AI and robotics. We are literally watching the transition from machines that simply do what they're told to machines that can understand and decide for themselves. And all of this brings us to one final big thought to leave you with. As we give machines the ability to access and act on all of the world of collective information, the applications we're dreaming up today are probably just scratching the surface. The real possibilities are only just beginning to unfold.